Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Jamie Daire here from the Nacho Average Dare podcast. I'd like to be the first one to say that is the name I'm going to go ahead and go with, Nacho Average Dare. Um, the reason why is the play on words, obviously. Nacho Average Dare, sounding like not your average dare. That's first of all. Second of all, Nacho is my nickname. Long time ago, we were playing basketball, and someone was like, "I got Joe and not Joe," because he couldn't remember my name, and then it was funny to me, and I was like, "Nacho," and then it just kind of stuck, and everybody started calling me Nacho, especially when I started playing in a heavy metal band years and years and years and years and years and years ago. Um, Yeah, and so everybody, I needed a nickname, so they also called me that. So then I built this name around Nacho, and then yeah. Uh, so, anyways, the reason why it's Nacho is because again, I'm Jamie, not Joe. So that's what Nacho Average Dare. Yeah, there it is. Ta-da! Yes. What's up, puppies? This is as real as it gets. Well, today is July 19th, 2020. It is 6:09 p.m. here Eastern Time. Normally on Sundays, for the last 17 weeks, I would say, according to the list of podcasts that we've done, this would be the 18th week. So we were supposed to record Springboro Sessions today. Um, yeah, it just did not work out. Um, Bad storm come through uh, my area here at this afternoon, very late afternoon. Oh, just about time to start the podcast. Um, yeah. So because of this storm, I have no internet at home. Just previous to starting that, Ty Bigger, our friend, Mr. Bigger, who's on Springboro Sessions, he's a great guy. I love what he brings to the table. That because he does the farm country life, and he has such a knowledge in things and sees it in a different light. And that's why I love having him around. That and he's just got so much to say, and he's like a big ball of energy when you talk to him. He pumps you up. But yeah, so Ty had texted and said that he had a bad storm today. It wasn't going to be on there because of the weather being bad there earlier that day. And then, of course, I was playing some Rocket League with Jerry previous to the podcast, and he was also saying how they had a bad storm and it was pretty intense. Well, that storm came here. Um, by then, Lindsay also texted me earlier and said that she wasn't going to be able to be on today. Um, and TJ, I didn't hear anything from him, but I think he was spending some time with a friend of his that he really needed to. He was helping them out, and yeah, so I didn't hear anything from him. But my phone, because I live in the country, I don't actually get solid phone service at all. If they had negative numbers, that's probably what it would be. It would be negative numbers. Uh, so because of that, I got a Google Voice phone number because you're able to call forward with it. So I give out my Google Voice number, and that's how I do things for work, and that's how I do all the texting on my phones because of that Google Voice app. So I have to have internet. Um, Not only do I forward the phone calls to my cell phone for the phone calls portion of it because there's calls and then there's text. Well, the text I get on the notifications and I get everything on the actual app itself. So as long as I'm connected to the internet, I can get the text messages. The actual phone calls, whenever you call that number, it goes straight to that phone. Uh, if I'm not in my house, So like if I'm, out and about and I get a phone call, it's going to go to my cell phone, but it also goes to my house. So I get both of them to ring at the same time, which actually has been very bad for my wife using the house phone for work because I use mine for work. So when people call it, we don't normally answer the phone. She doesn't, if I'm not home, she doesn't know because she anticipates it just going right to my cell phone anyways. Plus, my voicemails you actually get on the app and whatnot. But yeah, so with the storm, we were supposed to start at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but at 4:34 p.m. I text everybody and I told them that I had no internet because that was the unfortunate downfall. So then I walked downtown to the corner of where we live, and I connected to the public library's free Wi-Fi, and it actually has internet. So while I was down there, I actually got enough signal to receive a text message on my actual cell phone number, and it said that there's an outage in my area until 4:30 in the morning. Well, whatever. No internet. Fine. So be it. I don't care. Whatever. So I walk back up the street. But while I'm down there, the sirens is super loud. It's like, I'm like, oh crap. Or is that a tornado one? Because I heard it in Conyerville first. And no, nothing. Okay, well, I'm in Springboro. And that one goes a while later. So finally I pull out the app on my phone. Let's see here. I don't have sponsors yet because nobody pays me to talk. But yeah, so this right here is Scanner Radio application on the Google Play Store. We have been using it since we bought our house because it's the scanner. So we just get on there anytime the fire alarm, like the town alarm goes off. We always go right to the app and we turn it on, listen. So when I was down there, I checked it, and it said there was a tree had fallen at an intersection between the major street through all of this area of the country, Pennsylvania, whatever. And yeah, so when I was walking up to the house, the wife was standing there on the porch, and she's looking at me, and I'm like, "Yep." She's like, "Is there internet down there?" I'm like, "Yep." She's like, "Well, this sucks because I was actually trying to get some stuff done for work." I'm like, I know. She said, and I couldn't check the scanner. I'm like, I already checked it, and I told her what was going on. She smiled, and then we came back inside, and I said, you have some, a couple things that don't require the internet that you can do, and actually, she had brought it up to me, to be honest, and I was like, well, I can still record a podcast today. I don't necessarily have to wait for everybody else, which was unfortunate, that we couldn't do Springboro sessions today, but that brought me to do one, on the fly here. So, with that being said, hello everyone. That's a couple things off the top of my head. My name is Jamie Daire. Again, I am your host of Nacho Average Daire podcast. See, I gotta go backwards now. Nacho Average Daire podcast. Boom, that's me. I also, to anybody that appreciates what I do, or wants to help out financially at all, nobody's ever obligated. Just appreciate it. I do have a Venmo account, which is down there. You can say hello or whatever. But yeah, now that that's out of the way, put up the pool to this week like I wanted to. Yeah, it was whatever, man. Just gotta get done. So after I got sand and crap and I tamped it out and stuff, I believe on Thursday when I recorded the first episode of this podcast that I started by accident. But yeah, so that day I got it going. So that would have been Thursday. Friday, I ran the water after I got home from work. There was like probably a half a foot and a pool at the first. So after I got home on Friday, I turned the hose on. I'm like, let it rip, man. So I let it rip till 1 in the morning. I kept going out there and skimming the pool because I really enjoy skimming a pool for some reason or other. My wife kept calling me her personal pool boy, whatever that means. So I'm just out there skimming the pool and getting all whatever floaties. Um, and then Saturday was pretty nice all day. It was nice and hot. Um, so I let the pool run. And then it filled up, and then we went in to go in for a nice family swim yesterday. It was very nice hanging out with my daughter. She was so happy because she didn't know I was filling it up and set it up and stuff, and so she was like super pumped. And yeah, when I filled it up, she got home uh, from her first ever experience of riding horses. She was so excited to go ride horses. She was scared, I guess, but that kid's got more confidence in her than she'll ever know, especially if she's anything like her mother and her father. Um, but I guess she did very well. Um, and then other than that, I've just had some good phone conversations this weekend. Talked to my buddy Mikey. Talked to my buddy Donch, Bobby. You know, we had real good conversations about just life right now during this pandemic and how everybody's just craving to do music because I have not really introduced myself. Um, I noticed, I anticipate people already know who I am. Uh, but my name is Jamie Daire. I play bass guitar in a country band called South of 90. Um, I have been a part of a broadcasting team uh, doing a podcast throughout the pandemic we had started. That's called Sprangboro Sessions. If you're checking this out first. And also done, I believe, 7 episodes with Middle Age Gaming. And then that's been on a little break, I guess. TJ, I asked him about it after we had talked about the last podcast, and he said that he's just trying to really get a baseline and some things figured out with content. Then he'll want to get back into diving into that, which would be great because that's fun. I like to take the opportunity to do pretty much anything I can here when it's been coming to recording podcasts. Because every time you do it, you will get better. It's like, just like anything. I haven't been following comments. Haven't been going through any of that. I haven't been going live on this because I just started it. I actually was not planning on recording this today. I was actually planning on Thursday. I was going to try and figure out if I should do it once a week, and was asking my wife, and she's like, who cares? Just do it whenever you feel like it or you want. I believe... Is the internet working again? I would say it might be working now because I just got a notification from Alexa. Yeah, so that would be nice if the internet's back on and didn't take long. But unfortunately, that's what led me to recording the podcast today was the storm. So I was like, maybe I should dive into some content to share with everybody. And just a couple of different ideas, but unfortunately that didn't work out because here we are right now. I just got a text message from a friend of mine. So, internet's working! I know my ladies will be very happy because I ain't got no time for that. But yes, so I did not plan on doing this podcast today, but I'm very glad I'm getting the opportunity to because every time you do something, you get better at it. And I really enjoy talking to people, and I really enjoy sharing stories, and I really like to feel like I can inspire people because I've just had so many people inspire me, and I want to give back. So, yeah, musically, this week I wrote a new song. It was like probably a week and a half in, and yeah, it's really fun to play it. I'm sure I'll be posting it soon enough because I'm going to end up doing a live show here pretty soon. I'm gonna do a handful of covers, but I'm gonna do mostly of some of my original country music and rock music if I feel like it. The last time I did it on Twitch. Um, Basically, what that was my first ever on air, um, and I did a live performance for close to an hour, I would say, give or take. But I told a handful of people about it, and then I sent out so many invitations to people on Facebook because it was very specific of who I invited, um, and out of all the people that I invited, uh, whoever was actually there, I knew they would have to go out of their way to actually listen to that performance, and it meant a lot to me afterwards, and I found out who knew it was going to be on and took the time and were able to be there. So that was really awesome. And then that inspired me to keep going. And then that's when I did the first on air with Next in Queue because Jimmy had asked me and Scott had asked me about doing a on air or a live show because I had just spent like every day telling Scott and Jimmy and them guys at work about what I was figuring out every day, because every day you're learning something new on a process to try and make everything work correctly. And they had asked me if I would be interested in running a live show for them. I was like, heck yeah, man, let's do it. And it was awesome. It was awesome. It was awesome. Great experience. Meant a lot to me. Then did one with my band, South of 90, that I play bass in. We played. I did have a real big hiccup with that one. I was so excited and I was like, hell yes! I got another webcam hooked up for Jimmy, our drummer, called Jim Cam, and then I had a microphone or another webcam up front for the band itself. But I had just bought that webcam. Like I got it in maybe the day before that. Got it all hooked up. It was turning on. That's all. That was the hard part. I had both of them running, but it was not running very well. We did a whole on air. I had a couple things I learned doing that about, for instance, making sure the audio from like notifications and things are off on the computer as well. So that way if people are messaging you, it's not making a big giant ding all the time. Pardon me. A big boy, he was very into whatever it was he was doing back there. Pardon me while I take a drink of this. But yeah, so back to my story is that when we did the band South the 90s on air, the problem was that the Jim Cam was solid the whole time, with the audio. The audio and the video were two separate things. Audio here, video here. Okay. The whole point is to take both of those two things and put them together in beautiful harmony. So I, of course, anticipated when I hooked up the new webcam, everything was going to just work. Boy, was I wrong. That performance was like an hour and a half. When we got done and I saw that, Jimmy looks at me, he's like, sounds great. I'm like, do you see that? Like, this thing is lagging, latency or whatever it was in the video. And he's like, just looks at me and gives me the look. And he's like, sounds great. I was like, face value then, you're saying? And he said, yep. So what that meant was he was basically telling me to just let it go and get the fuck over it, because I have a hard time when I feel like it's going to defeat me. I have to keep doing it and figure it out until I figure it out, because I don't like these days to put that much energy into something and not figure it out. I will figure it out. I will get better at it until I cannot do it any longer. So, which is what I did all the rest of the times. Jimmy's like, let it go, man. I'm like, all right. You're right. Thanks, man. And I felt when the guys watched it back afterwards, I felt like everybody was like cool with it, but I felt that they were just like kind of bummed out about it, as well. And I understand, and I understood why, but I know that everybody was always like really proud of it and stuff like that. But you get all that shit down in there and lock, and then all of a sudden, bam, you got to do it, and it's lagging. You're like, oh, well, it's good enough. But so we're gonna end up doing another one. Anybody watching this video live right now, the video you're seeing is also my new webcam. And if you look when I'm talking, my mouth is dialing into the microphone, which means its latency situation has been a lot more figured out, which led to the first video of a reaction video I did last Sunday. And then after that, was it Sunday or Thursday? Thursday. Yeah, it was Thursday. My apologies. And so after that video, I did the first episode for the Nacho Average Daire podcast. That's the Nacho Average Daire podcast. Yeah, so that day when I went to do everything, the video appeared to be lining up. So that's what led me to do those. After that, which was funny, I got so I was trying to do a reaction video, which to anyone that knows what a reaction video is, it is where you are doing some type of an event, or you're some type of an event or anything. Like, for instance, watching a video and you're putting your reaction, your face, your reaction of what's going on, and how you're feeling in the face, your facial expressions, and what you're feeling inside or thinking about what's going on in a live reaction. I see like Jessie May Peluso. She is funny as hell. She was, I guess, one of them teens that just was always had to be a goofball and just do things to make people laugh. She was on the Joe Rogan Experience, and watching her and hearing how funny she was, I checked out her podcast, which is the Sharp Tongue podcast. And one thing that she does is she does a bong in a movie. So she like sits there while she's watching a movie. She's ripping a bong, and she's commentating or just talking about her feelings and whatever she's thinking about during the movie. And yeah, so I thought, why not do some reaction videos? And I did one on. I don't even know if I could say the name of the song now because of the copyright laws, which is awesome copyright laws on YouTube. That is fantastic, but they didn't want to share their copyrighted things for anyone else, so it blocked my video, my reaction video. So I'm gonna have to check out that list. Bobby gave me some suggestions of places to look, but I'm gonna do some more content like that, and I'm gonna try my hand in a couple different types of narratives or storytelling or commentating, if you will. Might try and read like a story or a news story here and there, just because I love to talk and I want to get much better at it. And yeah, that's what's the beautiful part of podcasting. And after I got the latency situation figured out, I feel a lot better. I feel when we go to do the next on air, whether it's South of 90 or another band or another duo. I've had a couple people I've been talking to about it. Wink, wink. And yeah, just been so hot up in my studio, Coswago studio. It's been too hot. It's been way too hot. The portable air conditioner that I bought, it had lots of reviews, and good positive reviews, and I bought it, and it is just not strong enough, as you can imagine, to take care of the heat when it's 91, 92, 93 degrees for several days. 70s, 80s, 90s all the rest of the time. yeah, it's just it couldn't keep up. So after things cooled down a little bit and it's not so hot, I'm gonna buy a portable, or not a portable, but an actual window-mounted air conditioner for up there. And then after I do that, I will be cooler because I will control the temperature a lot better. I have a little bit more work to do to finish insulating the back edges of it and stuff. And if you're actually checking out this podcast, you can see a video of the studio. In my videos, I did put a tour of it. Right before we did an on air with. I believe it was the one with next in queue, or maybe it was the one right before South of 90. Either way, I did them like a week apart. Um, but yeah, so I've been working on a bunch of new tricks of on my music writing. So I haven't dove into some things, but I've been playing that. I've been trying to find a groove on my bass because I enjoy playing music. It's part of who I am. It's part of what I do. Just like me being sitting here in this moment right now, uh, just telling you guys stories. I do that every day on the phone or to people face to face. So now I'm just trying to do it to a broader crowd. Unfortunately, this microphone here is a condenser microphone. The unfortunate part with those is you get so much tone, but you also get so much sound. So you might hear with the fan down below, because if I don't turn that on right now, I'm going to sweat even more than I already am. And then you might also hear in the kitchen, which is right there, the sound of the dog licking his bowl for water, because that's what he wanted to do. Um, yes. So let me move this over here. Uh, yeah, what a great day. Um, I apologize. I'm trying to explain, adjust my settings here. Yeah, because if I have internet, then I might as well use it. All right. So we have this guy, and yeah. So latency, I hope that I've figured that out. That because that is a big issue, and I enjoy reading articles. Uh, I actually recorded one day, um, and just to hear how I did it and how I say it, sounded. And then I realized how much more audio I needed to figure out and things I needed to dive into with audio. But I plan on re-recording that again soon now that I've figured out a little bit more of sound, and compare them and hear how they the sound quality and the sound difference, and how all that fun jazz, if you will. Let's see here. I could never understand your start page for Google on your computer, because when you're on your uh, cell phone, it takes you right to a page that tells you all your latest news and all your latest everything. And on PC, it just does not do that, and it's so frustrating. Uh, but yeah, so I haven't watched any news in days um, at all, just because. So our current weather here is 74 degrees, thunderstorms. Tomorrow is going to be 83. That'll be great. Oh, 79 with thunderstorms on Wednesday. As soon as that bad boy gets down into like the 60s and 70s, I will be up in my studio again, recording some new music and new songs, which will be awesome. Awesome. So, to anybody checking in that hasn't been here before, my name is Jamie Daire. I am the host of the Nacho Average Daire podcast, which is what you're listening to right now. By no coincidence, I'm sure you found it and clicked on it, because it is on SoundCloud and it is on Spotify. Um, and it has been a blast and a pleasure to be able to do about podcasting. Um, so we have this severe thunderstorm watch currently right now, as I've mentioned, and this area that we're at, a story that explains this stuff. So last year, I when I bought my house a couple of years ago or whatever, I never anticipated using the basement, and I even talked about that in the last podcast. Uh, but we ended up putting the studio down there just because it was somewhere I could put it and it wasn't in the way. Plus, it was dry and it wasn't humid like out in the garage. This is before we put before we put the studio up in the loft. But so being in the basement, it's underground and all that stuff. We got this bad storm around the same time uh, that it rained so fast, it rained so hard that a place that water has never once been in before, it shot in this window like it was like a faucet had broken because the weather was bad. They were saying it was like tornado weather. Uh, we had no power. We're in the basement. Uh, Next thing we know, we're down there. We're all nervous. The cat's down there. Both dogs, the kid, the wife. We're down there. And it's like, okay, well, our hearts are pounding. We got our rubber boots down there just in case it was, we had to. Well, we had to go walk downtown or wherever to go meet up with people to find out what was going on or if everybody's okay. Yeah, so we were wearing our rubber boots and stuff. Next thing I know, water's just rushing in so fast that I thought maybe like it just took out like a tower or a house or something, and it was just raining so hard, so fast that it just had nowhere to go, and it came down in the house. So in the basement, I had the drums. I had three 12-inch stage monitors on the floor. The drums were on the floor. The drum mat was on the floor. All the pedals for all the drums are on the floor. Uh, a handful of other things that are stacked up just on the floor as where you would normally put it. Um, and my guitar was on the stand, and the guitar stand, it only has like 2 inches maybe of clearance from where the guitar bottoms are touching. So of course I'm grabbing guitars and I'm putting them up on like the washer because I figured if we're gonna get if we're gonna get drowned out by all this water, at least I want to get them up as high as I could. So I put them on top of the washer and the dryer and stuff. But yeah, it was the craziest thing ever. It made me sick to my stomach because of I got my speakers wet. I got, after a couple, maybe a minute of it, it stopped. But it made me sick to my stomach because watching that water just gush in, spraying all over the drums and everything, and there was absolutely really nothing that I could do. Plus, my wife and my daughter are so scared, and I'm scared with them. It was like one of the most intense moments of living in this house. Um, so when we decided to not to do it in the basement, I decided to do it down there. I had never anticipated something like that happening, and it happened. Um, and that's why I was so excited about moving everything out and up into the loft where it's the highest up of an area. I could get all that stuff physically, Uh, so, yeah, that was the story about a thunderstorm, about being here. There ended up being a tornado that day, just a mile down the road. Um, Trees were knocked down. There was debris. The tornado, it formed. It touched down for a split second, basically. And, it wasn't even a mile's worth of a trail it went or whatever. And it was gone. Here, let me see if I can look it up and actually find the information on here or not. Yeah. Let's see here. Springboro tornado 2019, maybe. Yeah, here it is. So again, this was last year in April. My apologies. This right here is on the Meadville Tribune. This article is by Keith Gushard. Again, for the Meadville Tribune. A brief tornado struck Springboro Sunday night with estimated winds of 80 miles per hour, according to the National Weather Service in Cleveland. It was one of two reported in northwest Pennsylvania spawned from a line of storms that swept across northeast Ohio and northwestern Pennsylvania Sunday night. But no injuries were reported, according to the National Weather Service. It was they said it struck at 6:48 p.m. on the edge of the park. It said that on the what is it, Fujita scale, it was a EF0, because it had winds between 65 and 85. So yeah, it said it moved for about 1/3 of a mile. There was the answer I want. Approximately 100 yards wide before its run on the ground just east of Route 18 had came to an end. Yeah, but again, the weather was really weird. The skies were like really yellow and green looking. We were out front. My neighbor Wayne and my wife and I were all sitting out there looking up there. We're just like, man, that just don't look right. Just don't look right to me, And that's what I was saying, like how I was thinking. And I was thinking of the movie Twister. And yeah, so we had come in, by then everything was getting intensified. The power went out. We got flashlights everywhere. The kids got her flashlights. We got our flashlights. In fact, after that, I bought the kid a headlamp. One of those headlamp flashlights. I bought her one of them so she had it accessible. So if she needed to see, and she did not have to be as afraid of not being able to see because she had her headlamp. And anywhere she looks ahead, not behind her. When she looks ahead of her, she can see the way. Which actually led me to when we were in the pool yesterday. We were sitting around, and she was like, "Dad, I'm just so happy that you're in the pool with me." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm glad to be. I'm skimming the pool. I don't swim a lot, so I don't know. Like the pool means a lot to me because I know it means a lot to my wife and my daughter." But I've never, really been that into it. Maybe I'll get more into it. But I've enjoyed floating the few times that I've got to, with the little flotation device, the little raft, blow up raft or whatever the hell they're called. But yeah, so the kid, she told me yesterday about how she's a better swimmer than I am, and she was like telling how she was so happy to be in there with me, and that meant a lot to me. And just looking around at all the hard work and how it was paying off for my wife and my daughter and myself. That's what life is really about. I know that more than anyone. Made a lot of poor choices in my life. Blamed everyone else for them poor choices. Blamed everybody but the guy I should have, which is myself. So that's why I've been working so hard at doing things, because there's just so many little goals that I've had that I had so many of them that it made everything seem just out of reach. And I figure when you start working hard on knocking out all the little goals, then the bigger goals just kind of happen. And that's kind of what led to podcasting in general. And that's what got me to want to do these by myself, because I can do exactly what I'm doing. I'm just rambling. I could talk about anything you want. I could talk about nothing. It really makes no damn bit of difference. But so I looked up this thing here about the tornado. I thought that was really cool. Just being able to do that here. We were talking about some funny names the other day at work, and that's what led me to Nacho, average Daire. That's what led to some other things. Some people do find it funny, and we do play on words all the time. Lots of bad jokes. I guess growing up, I always tried to be a comedian, and I was never ever tried to do it. But I always appreciated people that were funny and what they did. And when you see people like Joe Rogan and Bob Saget and even Bill Burr. Bill Burr's funny as hell. I've been listening to some of his stuff. The Thursday podcast, I think it's called. He had an episode that I was listening to yesterday and today that he just he comes off the wall right at the beginning about what was going on in his life, about like a mouse or something at his house, and it just it made me laugh so hard because he was like, "So you mean I gotta turn this thing off and take care of this, or is it cool? Like, do I got a little bit of time?" And it made me laugh so hard because everybody's home, everybody's doing things and doing it this way, and there's nothing you can do to filter out like the actual life. But as long as you're still doing it and having fun doing it, then that's what makes it worth doing. Uh, I know it's been a blessing for me. There was a time I was trying to start a blog, uh, but I found out when you start writing a blog that you have to not only come up with stuff, but you also have to write. And I had very little interest at the time to be writing anything. So that's what's led to the audio stuff because I guess I'm too lazy to write. But I have a blog out there. It's called Erie Bastard, ERIEBASSTURD. Uh, yeah, you can take it for what it is. But the blog is called Bastard, Erie Bastard, and I didn't really do much with it, but maybe I will one of these days. I'll transpose some things, and because again, I don't know what the future has in store. Uh, I don't know when my next gig is, if you will. I don't know when I'm playing at a bar next. I don't know when I'm playing at a live session, even in the studio. This stuff is really affecting everything and everyone, and all we can do is just stay focused, stay positive, and that's what I've been, trying to drive home to people all the time. That's why I end every podcast of Springboro Sessions with that, because if you sit around and you just focus all your energy on things you can't control, then you're just gonna burn yourself up and you're gonna tire yourself out, and you're not gonna be able to sleep. You're not gonna be able to do anything like that. One moment. Your just wheels will never stop spinning, and you'll never be able to just relax and take deep breaths. And that's what I've been trying to do, is find ways to do that. This Versa 2 Fitbit that my wife got me for Father's Day, I was so happy to get because it's made me very aware of my heartbeat, uh, because it shows your resting heart and stuff, and it's been helping me make myself more aware of when I'm getting too worked up. Uh, Not necessarily the anxiety of it, but just like the blood pressure, all of it is affected. So I find myself being more aware of it, and then I just try to reel myself back. Um, Talking this weekend with a couple friends, um, when I was talking with them, it made me realize that since we started doing the podcasting, um, I've made myself a lot more aware of being in the moment, and a lot more listening to other people talk, and a lot more of not feeling like I have all the answers, or that of course I can. If I wanted to know, I just look it up. Talking with my friends, and we were all talking about this, different things, and uh, you know, I'd start a conversation about something, or they would, and every time it was just awesome to like really be a part of that, and to really learn so much stuff in the last 2 days of the weekend, just by good conversation. People that are so smart, so good at what they do, and they just inspire you. I also got my car inspected. I've been procrastinating that just because. Let me take a drink. Sorry. The next podcast, I will not be drinking that. I will be drinking my water. That just happened to still be there from earlier. Um, but it's delicious, but that's part of the problem. For too much sugar, uh, way, 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 way too much sugar, way too much sugar, and I've also been drinking my coffee black because I'm trying to do away with the sugar, no creamer, because those are all things that when you're pushing 40, you're aware of, and you're like, I should probably not do that so much and drink so much of this, and I should probably not do that. Those are the things that I've been trying to really grow personally in and get better habits of drinking more water, which I have been. I've been trying to make sure I get at least half a gallon of water, but I'm working my way up to a gallon of water a day. Every time I've been drinking a can of soda, I will drink a bottle of water first, because for whatever reason when I drink water, I just straight down the hatch, man, like I'm doing shots at the bar. I guess I think in my head that I could take shots at the bar, it's in the past, and I would force myself to drink it because that's what you do. And water is so much easier to take shots of than any type of alcoholic shot. So I treat water when I'm drinking it kind of like that. It's just straight down the hatch whenever there's quantity of it. I like cold water better than warm water if I'm drinking it in moderation. But if I'm going all out, balls out, then it's going to be, warm, piss warm. So then it's not going to, you know, be less enjoyable, if you will. Um, but so Amber and I were talking, and I was telling her about, if you look right here, there's a microphone. Okay, this is fun. So if you look over there, that's Nacho Average Daire. That's the name of the podcast. That right there is my Venmo. If you want to know what that is, look it up. If you want to help a brother out, feel free. Eat, eat, eat. Bang, right there. So, that was dumb, but it was funny to me. So, this guy right here, I was telling Amber, I'm like, I should really get something made to cover it. Like one of those things you see that say like CNN and stuff. But because I'm going to call this Nacho Average Dare podcast, I was thinking about having it right there. Yeah. Yeah, right there. And it's going to say NAD. And then in the middle of NAD, it's going to have podcast. Right? And then Amber's like, well, she's like, you could call people NADs that listen to it. And so I thought about it because that's what I do, and it is stuck, and it was so funny. And so yeah, you guys, if you support this, you're going to be Nads, which is a not Nacho Average Dare supporter. So it's Nads, yeah. So I'm going to get that made right here, and it's going to say Nacho Nacho Average Dare. Yeah, that'll be funny as hell. That's the kind of shit that I think about because I got so much going on. But that felt really funny and really good, and it's going to happen. Other than that, today we had meatloaf. I remember when my buddy Brad, when he was alive, he used to always say goodbye, and he always play, hey, don't let your meat loaf. Yeah, and then my other friend, Bubba, he was like, we used to take all kinds of stuff for meatloaf. It didn't matter what it was. We took all of the last couple days worth of leftovers and we put it in. So you might have like macaroni and cheese and rice and chicken and tomatoes and all kinds of stuff. But whatever was their leftovers in the fridge, they would just throw it in a meatloaf. So it's actually a good thing to let your meatloaf, I guess, would be my guess. I could be wrong, and I wouldn't be surprised because I'm not exactly the smartest one out there. I got other things that are going well for me. But yeah, so letting your meatloaf is okay. In my COVID life, this stuff is scary, but it's manageable as long as you just keep focusing on other things. But when you hear about like the stimulus, I'm very hopeful for that because it sure would be nice to have like a little nesting egg, if you will, for the unknown, planned the unknown and the unplanned future here. Um, because I don't know when we're going to be back to playing live. And right now it's at like, I believe bars are at 25% capacity. So let's say the bar is allowed to have 10 people in there at a time, and they have 6 people on their staff. So that leaves 5 people, one entertainer, 4 people actually enjoying the entertainment. Like, what is that? That is, you know, if you really want to keep people going, I guess that's what you do. But to be able to play outside, I mean, that's been helping out a lot. Um, I actually wish I knew a place around here that could have a bunch of cars and could do a show, one of the drive-in shows. That would be so awesome. There was a place, that was not too far from here that people used to go to for big music festivals and stuff. And that place would have been great. I just don't think that they're doing that anymore. Um, I know the owner, one of the owners, had passed away in the last year. He was a great guy, the best, by far the best uh, landlord that I ever had. Um, it's unfortunate that to live to die. This was um, it's unfortunate and it's scary. So that's why I've been trying to do these podcasts. Actually, I was talking to my friend earlier today. I was like, yeah, I think of more of it kind of like a journal. Uh, than anything, because then I could go back and I can look at the way things were that day, or the things that I was feeling, because I was really able to put them out there for people to hear and people to understand. Um, Plus, one day it'd be nice, no matter what, that my daughter or my wife or my friends had something they could watch to remember me by, and that they would have that, and they could see my quirkiness, and they could see all those imperfections, and they can smile at just seeing me. Like, that's what this has been about. Um, Everybody's doing podcasting. I seen there's a Facebook group that I was looking at a bunch of different ones. I didn't join one, but these guys, they had put one up, and seeing them do it, it made me smile, because I was like, yeah, look at you guys, man, you're getting it done. Uh, and they're doing it well. What the name was, I honestly can't remember. But that goes, again, things that I've been learning during this pandemic. I've been making myself more aware of other people and seeing other people and what they're doing, and I'm learning from them. And inspiration, even if it's self-inspiration, it's so beneficial. So beneficial. Um, I've been sitting around, just walking around the yard this weekend and looking at like the pool filling up, and I feel so proud of that. My garden, it's not the hugest garden. I got, I think, 4 tomato plants. I have 4 green pepper plants, 4 red pepper plants, a blueberry bush, which I'm going to end up, you know, making new ones. Repotting, I believe, is the word that I was looking for. Replanting, repotting, either way. So I'm going to have multiple of them. Plus I have probably like 10, maybe 11 red onion in the ground. Plus I got this stuff called the Egyptian walking onion. I don't know if I dove into that the other day or not. But basically what happens is it's onion. You can eat all the different parts of it. When it gets too heavy on top, the leaf dies, it falls down, and then it replants itself. And that's everything in my garden. But I felt great because it's been done. It's been taken care of. I have the pool. I felt awesome about that because we dug it out and we did all that. This one cement slab thing we got. I moved the fire pit that was in the backyard. I moved it on that. To get it out of the way and make some grass actually grow in the spot where it was, because it's been there for like 3 years. So that felt good doing that. And then when I set up the pool deal and I was out there till 1 in the morning or whatever because we have a light. And I'll post that on Sprangboro Sessions Facebook page. I have a light so we can see in the pool at night and can swim out there at night, which I thought was pretty awesome. So I say to my daughter when we're swimming yesterday, I'm like, so this pool light. I was like, so should we call this the pool light? Or the, because she's like, is it the backyard light, Dad? I was like, well, is it like the pool light? And then she turned it into all these other light types and these light names. And I'm like, that is beautiful. But I think you're overthinking it way more than I am. She had given it real names. She had given it this, that, and the other. She had called it something funny. I can't remember, but it was hilarious. And I was like, why don't we just call it the pool light or the backyard light or whatever? And as long as we know what we're talking about. And then I told her about how when she was born, I told everybody that my nickname for her was going to be Lightning Bug. And she's like, Lightning Bug? I'm like, yeah, you're going to be my Lightning Bug. And she's like, well, because whenever it's dark, you can see the lightning bug. I was like, yeah, that's pretty close. I explained it to everybody that she'd be my lightning bug because even in darkness, she will be my light. And even in darkness, there is light. So she would show me the way and remind me why. So that's why I was going to call her my lightning bug. And she's like, oh, that's cool, Dad. And then I looked at her, she looked at me, and then, we let it go. That moment had passed, but she got it. And that's actually funny about that because we were in the house. Was it earlier today or was it? Yeah, it was earlier no. Yeah, it was earlier today. And it was pretty dark in the living room. And Amber's like, oh, there's a lightning bug out here. Olivia walked in there. She was like, she caught it so fast because she's been a professional catching lightning bugs around here lately. While we've been outside, she Dad, I got 7 of them. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. And then last night she was swimming with her lightning bug. And I said, okay, well, that's not how they work. I said, it can't breathe underwater. And it once you get its wings wet, it probably can't fly. She's like, really, Dad? And like her heart broke for a second. I was like, yeah. So you might want to not swim with your lightning bug, And yeah, that was a learning moment for her. It was a very proud moment for me because I taught her something she didn't know. Dadding. That's it's something I've been really trying to get good at, and that's why I am here doing this because I am Nacho Average Daire. And my daughter, she always tells me how I'm a goofball, and she's like, you and I are goofballs, Dad. I'm like, yeah, we are. She's like, why are we so funny? I'm like, I don't know. It's a gift. And last night I was recording video trying to fix my latency issue that I have with the new webcam. And the kid, she comes over and I was saying something. She had said something about being bored. And I was like, click, I'm bored too. And then we did this little thing, for a second. It was so funny. I posted it. If you haven't checked it out yet, you should. It's called Jazz Hands. Super funny. Just us being ourselves, being dorky and funny and weird. If you've stuck around and listened to this whole thing, then you obviously believe in my quirkiness, and I'm very thankful for that. And I promise you, this is just the beginning. I got some cover songs I'm going to be learning this week, just because they're really hard, and I want to play music as good as I can. I try to press myself. I'm going to be recording several more podcasts and some more reaction videos. I just want everybody to have fun and hang out with, I hope I make you laugh. If anything, at least I hope I show you, there's always 2 sides to every quarter, and you got to just have fun and be silly sometimes. I'm going to go take a shower. I'm going to go shine the old noggin here because I got to work early in the morning. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for you know all the nice comments and all the messages I've been getting. People supporting me doing this myself. David, I'm really glad he's working really hard on a beat. So I'm excited to hear what he's been working on. I can't wait to put that up for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. Again, my name is Jamie Daire. This is the Nacho Average Daire podcast. That's my Venmo down there if you want to take a look at that. Other than that, check it out, soundcloud.com/Sprangboro, where you can get all your latest episodes of Sprangboro Sessions, Middle Age Gaming, and Nacho Average Daire podcast. Videos are on the YouTube channel, and you can also find it on Spotify. Thanks for hanging out. We'll catch you guys next time. And later. Deuces. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That's a wrap. Mm-hmm. For real. Just saying. Peace.